What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Before we get started, and I forget to tell you, don't forget to join me tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Scotty by Nature's channel for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. We will be discussing Real Housewives of Potomac. So y'all go ahead and join us over there and see what the panel has to say about this episode. But for now, this is my opinion. So the episode opens up. We have Robin struggling. Okay, I already had this conversation. I know some people may have a difference of opinion. Some people may feel like, it ain't that deep. But honestly, it may be somewhat of a storyline because, it is what it is. They are on a reality show and Robin is scrambling to hold on to her job, child. But I think there's some legitimacy to it. Again, having dealt with being on the school system side, there's some legitimacy to some of this. And when you see Robin struggling to get up, and she is literally scheduling her alarm to wake her up 5 minutes before she got to wake the boys up, and then she is literally getting back into bed. And you even see where Carter's teacher says, remind your mom to get you up. This is your job. You need to be on time. And again, I understand all aspects. Like I said, I was a teacher dealing with it. And I know how hard it was for us dealing with our students. And again, the parents were dealing with what the parents were dealing with. And you just don't know what's going on in the household. Of course, Juan has absolutely no sympathy for it at all. And he's like, Robin, you just lazy and it ain't a good look. And I'm going to need you to get it together. Listen, I am exhausted with discussing the farce that is Robin and Juan Dixon. Okay, so I'm not even going down that yellow brick road. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know, child. So Karen is launching her La Dame wig, which I thought we had already launched it, but we saw her having a Zoom meeting with some of her customers and going through some of the wigs. Congratulations to Karen. Ashley is meeting up with Giselle. Giselle says, listen, I know what it's like to be on your second child. Everybody's there for the first child. Everybody cares. Everybody's calling. The baby showers and all that. You get to the second child, don't nobody care. And she said, I know what that feels like. When I was pregnant with, she had the twins. She said, child, nobody cared about me. It was all about the twins. It was all about the twins. And nobody really gave a damn. She said, so for Ashley, I really want to have a pamper party for you. Ashley, at this point, is like a week away from delivery, from her due date, I should say. And so she wants to sort of celebrate Ashley and have a celebration for Ashley. So they're going to have like a spa day. And she said, I'm going to invite everybody except for Karen. I don't want to invite Karen. And Ashley was like, well, I would like for you to invite Karen if you don't mind. So Giselle was like, well, since the party is for you and it's not for me, I guess I can do that. And then they ask about Mia, and Ashley said, well, let me tell you what happened at the party on Saturday down at Karen's house. So she gets into what happened and what went down with the party over at Karen's house, and how Mia sort of flip-flopped and said that, well, now that I heard that Giselle wished death on Karen's husband, because I was going to call him Big Ben, and that wouldn't have been nice. On Karen's husband, I feel differently about her, and she's just a pretty face. So, of course, Ashley is carrying a bone. And so now Giselle is like, well, that's interesting because she's been texting me ever since we met over Wendy's house, and texting me and Robin, and, acting like she want to get to know me and Robin. So, yeah, when I see her, I'll definitely ask her about it. But, yeah, let's invite her to the party so we can maybe get to the bottom of some things. So Giselle also brings up, messy Giselle, also brings up, how's Michael doing? Have you been keeping an eye on Michael? You think Michael out here doing some stuff he don't need to be doing? Like, how you feel about that situation? Like, how's that going? And of course, Ashley says, what in the world would you expect Ashley to say other than, he's fine, we're fine, it's fine, no, nothing to see here, Anyway, moving on from that. So we have Candace. No, before we get to Candace, Robin is in her shop. We meet her new friend. Well, not her new friend, but new to the, I guess she's gonna be like a friend to the show. What's her name? Anise? No, it's not Anissa. Alisa. Anyway, she's from Ethiopia. And again, it seems like she's gonna be a friend of the show. Now, I don't know what Robin's mama do, but Robin mama got a warehouse. Eskele. I was way off. Her name is Eskele. Eskele. And she's beautiful. She's Ethiopian. And Robin is there. She says she done got behind on her hat orders, that everything is going well with the hat company. And so she's got her friends helping her get caught up, and that they've sort of outgrown her living room. She said, the website blew up. Of course it blew up. You advertised it on a show that gets millions and millions of viewers a week. I mean, last season's ratings were through the roof. And even people who are only going to order it once just to say they ordered a hat from you, so of course your, orders went through the roof. And she said that she just wants to make sure she does it right, so she doesn't end up making excuses. Making mistakes and end up, broke or on the government or going out of business. I just feel. Anyway, child. So Wendy comes through to help her out. Wendy shows up in her Gucci pumps, and as Kelly is there, her Louboutin heels, and they are bonding over the continent of Mother Africa, honey. And so Wendy is there to help. Wendy, I don't know if Wendy really showed up to do no help, but she's there to help, okay? And they get to talking about what happened at Wendy's house. And Robin was like, well, I felt some kind of way because I felt like, Karen was Karen was getting out of pocket, and I was defending Giselle because Karen was being really nasty and calling Giselle, some really nasty names. And I felt like you sort of stopped me, and I didn't understand it. Like, I felt some kind of way about that. And Wendy was like, well, the party was at my house, and I just did not want her to feel like she was being ganged up on. It was a one-on-one conversation between her and her and Giselle. And I just felt like that's kind of how it should stay. Robin talking about somewhere. That's not, last year, Wendy, that's not the Wendy from last year. I mean, last year, her and Karen had their own issues, and she would have never have, done that last year. And oh, well, I guess there's just no loyalty here. And I was just like, again, we had this conversation last week. Robin, it's okay. It's a one-on-one conversation. And yes, Karen might have said some nasty things and some below-the-belt things, but let's be clear. Giselle can handle herself. Giselle can handle her own. And let's not forget that Giselle started that by saying, I can't stand Karen. So listen, when you come for me, you can't tell me how to fight. And as long as it's a one-on-one fight, it ain't no problem. Fair exchange ain't never been no robbery. So you didn't have no reason to jump in that, and you can't be mad at Wendy for saying, hey, we're not going to turn this into a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 situation. As long as it's the two of them arguing, they can argue. They grown. I feel like that's what it was there. I don't feel like that was a test of anybody's loyalty, okay? But anyway, so then we have Wendy, of course, giving her assessment of what happened down to the party. And Mia's talking to her husband, giving her husband the breakdown of what happened and how she feels like Wendy controls Eddie and tells Eddie what to do. And, how Wendy, was getting nasty with her, and she could dish it, but she can't take it, and I'm not that chick, you ain't gonna just talk to me crazy and act like I'm not gonna have no sort of response to it. So then Wendy is talking to Robin, and Eskele. Her name is Pretty, if I get it right. And she was just like, Mia put her hand in my face, and she was so rude, and she was so this. And again, you started it. Like, again, like, you can't sit back and act like you're so offended and you so, oh my goodness, I can't believe she put her hand in my face. Girl, you came for her. And she was like, and in her mind, she, I guess, called herself defending Giselle. And I say the same thing. Giselle doesn't, like, all y'all feel like y'all got to defend Giselle. Do y'all think Giselle would do the same for y'all? Including you, Robin. Candace over to the house, child. Candace is with Chris. They fixing drinks. Her mama called. The first thing out her mouth is, Chris, you drinking this early in the afternoon? She tells her mama that she's going to be meeting up with Karen so they can try to hash their issues out and work through their issues. Her mama told her, be careful. Mama said, be careful now. She said, oh, I am, I learned my lesson last year about these people. I learned my lesson last year. So then she tells her mom that Chris is her new manager. Her mama said, good luck with that. And she says, well, that's very passive aggressive of you. And she said, well, I'm just not understanding. Your husband quits his job to work full time on your career. So, listen. So then she gonna tell her mother, that's their business and don't be counting her coins. And I'm like, well, first of all, you brought your mama in it when you told your mama. Like, your mother's gonna have an opinion. And taking your mama out of this equation, I think any mother would be a little cautious. Y'all just bought a brand new house. He sold his restaurant. Don't get me started on that. I already go back and look at my reviews from last year or the year before last, and I tell y'all all about that restaurant that Chris owned. Anyway, so essentially he unemployed. Y'all just bought this brand new $1 million home. I think your mama has every right to be a little nervous and concerned that he is managing you. And he ain't never been nobody's manager. Now, somebody in my comments last week said, well, he's not really taking care of a lot of the technical things. They have a real manager for that. That's all the more reason why her mama should be concerned. So then you ain't even really doing that. So essentially, y'all are a one-income home at this point. Now, I know I was giving him kudos last week because they said he was doing online cooking classes and stuff like that. And I'm still going to give him kudos for that because there's a whole pandemic and people had to do what they had to do. And I have friends who did online cooking demos and stuff like that. And they make money doing it, okay? I ain't saying there's nothing that, okay, they make money doing it. But my point is, he don't have no job. So I feel like your mama has every right to kind of be asking some questions because I'm just saying. Anyway. So Karen come on over. She come on down to Upper Marlboro to come and see Candace. And of course, she's complimenting Candace. And she said, she really wants to work this out with Candace because she feels like she's missed a lot of milestones. And that her and Candace were legitimately friends outside of the group. They were really friends. And I believe that they really were friends. And actually, her and Monique. The three of them used to hang out a lot, before things clearly went left. What I took away from that whole conversation was Candace wanted an apology from Karen. Karen said she didn't regret what she did, that she felt like she was in the middle. And as a result of her not taking a side, she was attacked. And she wouldn't do anything differently because she loves both of them. Candace wholeheartedly 100% wanted an apology from Karen. And so since she didn't get that apology from Karen, her thing is, well, I could still be cool with Karen, but me and Karen can't be friends like we were. And we can kiki when we see each other, but no, we're not friends. Because I can't be friends with her because, she didn't take my side. Listen, I'm not going to rehash last year. It happened. It is what it is. Now you see what you need to see, then move accordingly. That's all I'm going to say about that. Don't come back 3 weeks from now talking about Karen hurt your feelings because this, and this. Karen has said it. She ain't changing it. That is how she feels. That's it. That's all. Of course, she brought out the tissue, honey, and she had to dab at a tear that nobody saw out the corner of her eye with the corner of that tissue. Whatever, Candace, girl, whatever. So Whitney goes to, guess who of all people to ask for help and mentorship. I don't know why I keep doing the air quotes. It's just fun. But remember last season, Wendy said the reason why Karen wasn't really featuring her is because basically she didn't kiss Karen's ass and she didn't give Karen what she wanted as far as going to her and asking for her mentorship and asking for her help. And so because she didn't do that, then that's why Karen wasn't really rocking with her like that. And I was like, well, it's funny how now all of a sudden you can go to Karen and ask Karen for help and mentorship. You're trying to open up your business and you're going to Karen. And let me be clear. Karen was here for it. Karen was like, what's your product name? What does it look like? Who are you trying to sell it to? What does it mean? What about this is going to make somebody pick up your candle outside of the 5,000 other candles that are out there? Like, these are all valid questions, and Wendy couldn't answer hardly none of them. And then she was like, oh my goodness, this is so hard. Are you coming for me? And Karen was like, no, I'm asking you the questions that you need to be able to answer. This is your business. This is your product. And in a shady moment, Karen took time to put her product out. Now, people can say whatever they want to say about LaDame, and it took her so long, and it was this and it was that. Yeah, it took her a long time to put it out, but hers is still out. I mean, unlike some people who was clowning Karen about why was it taking so long for her to put it out. Every Hue Beauty. Anyway, so Wendy was kind of like, well, dad, Karen telling me I need to double my budget, and she's telling me I need to do. This woman said that she has written one paragraph of her business plan. And I just find that crazy as someone who has written a whole dissertation, which she reminded us about 5,672 times last year. That it takes more than a paragraph to explain a business plan. Like, let's be clear. Like, that. Child, that. Anyway, so we get a little bit more family time with Mia. We find out that her mama had a drug problem when Mia was growing up, and Mia actually went into foster care, and that her and her mom are slowly building their relationship back up. And so we got a chance to sort of be in on that. We also find out that she is co-parenting her oldest son with her, I guess it's her ex-husband. I'm assuming that's the father of her child, ex-husband, and that they all get along really well. That her husband, and her ex, or her son's father, really get along well. They showed us pictures of them together, co-parenting and stuff like that. So kudos to people being adults. Like, listen, kudos to the adults in the room adulting. All right. Now, Wendy has been on this whole Zen win thing, and she's so zen, and she's so zen, and she is just calm, and she's so zen, and child, Wendy ain't zen nothing. Wendy ready to just pop off. She just waiting for the time and opportunity to make it happen. So we get to the pamper party, and it's down to the spa, and everybody shows up. Poor Ashley looked like she literally is about to pop. Like, she just looked like she got a beach ball up underneath her shirt, child. Okay. And Giselle is there, and Karen walks in. Honey, listen, the two of them do a good job of just ignoring each other. Like, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see you. And they play a little cute game. Giselle had all of them send pictures of their baby bumps, and they had to figure out whose belly it was, and they all did a good job of figuring out who the belly belonged to. So that was cute. And then she said, I have 5 texts, and you guys can choose from these particular treatments. And so we're going to let Ashley and Robin actually invited her friend. I'm gonna just call her Miss Ethiopia, because I don't want to keep messing her name up, because it's a really pretty name and I really like her. I mean, when I say I like her, I mean I think she's pretty like her. Like, I don't know nothing about her personality yet. I feel like she gonna get messy. I feel like she got some messy in her, because she's trying to get on the show. She's trying to get a full-time champagne flute. Is that what Potomac be carrying? Champagne flutes? Anyway, no, that's diamonds in Beverly Hills. Maybe they have champagne flutes. Anyway, but she's trying to get a hold of the champagne flute, child. So, now while they're in there getting their treatment, Wendy proceeds to start explaining about what had happened with Mia. And Mia was like, listen, I'm not understanding why you were offended. I talk with my hands. Girl, get over it. If you don't like it, if it bothers you, just sit over there. I said, ooh, Mia. So Wendy talking about something. I didn't want to make a scene in Karen's house, so I didn't really say all that could be said, but I have time today. Zen Win is here, and I have time today. And from that point forward, she is just going off on Mia. Like, Mia can't get a word in edgewise. She is going off, and every time Mia get ready to say something, she cuts her off, and she's gone on off. Because you know why? Because you got embarrassed. You got embarrassed twice. You got embarrassed not once, but twice. Because you got embarrassed first at at Karen's house. Now you got embarrassed again in front of the rest of the ladies. And so you feel some kind of way about it. And so Mia ends up getting up and walking off because Mia is like, girl, you really are doing the most and I don't even have the energy for it. So her and Karen end up going in the back for their spa treatment. And Giselle is like, Wendy, I understand you had a problem with her, but you gotta let her talk. Do you know Wendy had a nerve to be like, I got into the argument with her trying to defend Giselle, and this is the things I get. Well, I guess that's where loyalty will get you. And I was like, no, you got into it with Mia because for whatever reason you've decided you don't like Mia. Let's be clear, you ain't defending Giselle. You could care less. You are upset because whatever is something about Mia that rubs you the wrong way, honey. Now, before they got into the argument, I'm sorry, we did get to the bottom of the whole stripper situation. Mia said she was a scripper, that she met her husband while she, down to the club, that she started off as a bartender, but then she was a scripper. But she said she was at a 5-star strip club and that she wore gowns and stuff. Now, Ashley let it be known, and we know if anybody know about a strip club, Ashley know. Ashley said, listen, I'd have been to 5-star strip clubs too where they wear gowns, but they still showing a money maker because that's what they there for. So let's not act like you won't at the strip club scripting. That's what you was doing down to the script club. You was scripting. And it's okay. Listen, I ain't shaming nobody. But listen, work ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Listen, I'm not mad at you. If you was working down to the strip club and it was a reputable situation and all adults were involved, girl, do you. Because let's be clear, at the end of it, look at what your pot of gold was at the end of that damn rainbow, okay? Or at the bottom of that pole, I should say. So you are now at the penthouse down to the Baltimore Harbor with multiple businesses and money in the bank and Louboutins in your closet. Girl, you ain't got nothing to be ashamed about, and you ain't got to defend that to nobody. Girl. Anyway. That was pretty much this episode. Y'all make sure y'all join us over on Scotty by Nature's channel because I'm sure we're going to have a whole lot to say. We're going to break this thing all the way down. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.